Kansas City, home to the college basketball experience and home to the Hall of Fame Classic. 8th-ranked Creighton not too far from home in Omaha, certainly getting some fan support as the Blue Jays get ready to battle Loyola Chicago here in the second of 2 semifinals on this Wednesday in Kansas City. Just a bit earlier, Colorado State able to race past Boston College, so the Rams awaiting the victor of this one in the championship round. Boston College gets the loser of this one of the consolation game. Both of those games tomorrow here on CBS Sports Network. Hi again, Jason App back here in Kansas City alongside Steve Lapis. And Steve, these two programs have made recent deep pushes in the NCAA tournament, and Creighton seems primed to potentially do it again this year.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of pedigree in these two teams, there's no doubt. But this Loyola team's starting to rely on a lot more transfers this year. Coach Valentine starting all over to a degree. And Coach McDermott, he's loaded. He's got all kinds of firepower. They make over 13 threes a game. Should be a really interesting contrast in styles.
You mentioned Loyola retooling a little bit. Streak of 5 straight 20-win campaigns ended last year. And boy, Des Watson coming in from Davidson among that transfer talent, trying to turn the tide.
Yeah, he averaged 9 points a game at Davidson. He's now over 16 at Loyola. He's very athletic. He can dunk it in the lane on anybody, but he's also a very, very good three-point shooter. A good rebounder, good defender. Tonight, he's going to have a lot of heat on him because he has to produce in a big way against this very fiery Creighton team.
You mentioned it, weapons galore for Creighton, including Trey Alexander, who can flat do it all.
Yeah, first-team preseason All-Big East player after being honorable mention last year. He really runs the show for them. He had 23 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists against Iowa in an extremely high-level game. But this team is a lot about Trey Alexander, but it's about a lot of guys. They've got a lot of firepower.
And a lot of Blue Jay backers in the house ready to see their squad try and stay perfect. The Ramblers poised to pull a surprise as we get going again from Kansas City. And the lineups being introduced to the fans here in Kansas City, and a strong Omaha flavor to root on their Blue Jays. Just about a 3-hour ride here to KC. You look at the starting lineup, and Steve, one noticeable change. Mason Miller, who started every game, out sick. Isaac Trout, 6'10 freshman, transfer in from Virginia, will get the starting call for this Creighton team. And again, you talked about all the transfer talents coming in, including Greg Dolan from Cornell and Dame Adelakun from Dartmouth. He's coming off a double-double in the last game for Loyola Chicago in the win for Drew Valentine and company against New Orleans last time out. 3rd season as Loyola head coach, bumped up from his role as assistant during the Ramblers' great run of success under Porter Moser, including the Final Four surge in 2018. And Greg McDermott, 14th season at Creighton, over 300 wins with the Blue Jays alone. And again, closing in on 600 in 3 decades as a head coach overall. Underway, tap controlled by 7'1" Ryan Kalkbrenner, and this Creighton attack ready to get to work, averaging 92 points per game and lead the nation in made threes, over 13 per contest. And Steve, anywhere on the floor they can score it like that. Baylor Shireman gets us going. New York, and a great career under a recent run of success for the Big Red at Cornell. Lob, Kalkbrenner, too easy.
They do that as well as anybody in the country.
He play in Chicago at a Simeon High School with solid defense. He's coming off a career-high 5 blocks last game against UNO.
What?
And guess what? When the offense kind of slows a little bit, Shireman erases it with a 3. Giving Adelakun a break.
Great
underneath.
Slip.
Yeah, that's Trout, new starter, with a good spot for Shireman.
Okay, so Shireman sets the back.
With a long rebound, pulled in by Francisco Farabello. Entry, Kalkbrenner.
Good defense.
Rubin swats it away, and they'll call the goaltend. Touting in that electric win at home against Iowa with 12 points and 5 rebounds in just 12 minutes of work.
I love him. He's averaging 7 and 6 in 14 minutes a game. You know,
Alexander, what an athletic play to keep it alive. But a read from Norris. Intercept. Can't Can't score it. Farabello snuffing it out defensively. Nice entry. King the dunk.
That's what they do.
Scoring good for 10 per game. He's got 4 now.
That was all experience. And this kid knows how to score in the low post. He's an experienced guy, and a good move there by Farabello.
He knows how to find the bottom of the hoop. And now turnover coming back here on Loyola. Farabello screaming in for 2.
Well, Braden Norris, one of the more experienced guys at Loyola, knocking out the 3 there. Hadn't been shooting it that well during the season. And then Frederick King running the floor hard. We got a good one going. Loyola up 3. Had him buried deep. Can't get your second because now you're going to sit out probably the rest of the half.
And so he exits with 10:28 left to go. And there's Shireman in a tough spot in the corner. No problem. Give him 13 already, including a trio of 3.
But when the ball's in the low post.
5 turnovers now on the Ramblers. Creighton with a chance to give us our 6th lead change already here, potentially with a 3. Farabello can't deliver. Kalkbrenner, catch, bucket, and 1.
The other thing that Kalkbrenner does so well is keep the ball up. If you notice, he gets that rebound, that ball stays up. I mean, he's a 7-footer. Watch here when he gets this rebound. He'll get the rebound, and the ball stays up high. Look, he doesn't bring it down not an inch, and is able to finish it.
Can you look at that 7-footer from the state of Missouri? First team preseason all Big East. Again, his numbers, that gaudy field goal percentage. Again, went through the draft process.
And you know, that's what you need. When you're playing a high-level team, you need your best players to play. Another 3 by Kalkbrenner. Oh, I take it back.
We talked about it.
That one looked pretty good.
He can do it. The game for this Creighton team that's averaging 13.5 triples per game, number 1 in the country. Shireman probing along the baseline, floater, got it. Nation again this year. 1 and done on this trek for Loyola again. Farabello, extra pass, Shireman. That's 3.
See the pace starting to get away from Loyola. They had a good.
Alexander still does not have a point yet. Averages 21 per game. Determined. Gets the roll.
He was determined. That's the best way to.
Above thus far. Turnover Ramblers.
Yeah, Delacoon, he wants to take Kalkbrenner one-on-one, but, you know, he's got to bouncing the ball a lot. There's another 3. Oh, boy. What did I say earlier? Man, I got to take it back, I think.
Hey. Veteran experience guy that led Cornell in scoring, 2nd team All-Ivy last year, undeterred from the Creighton force in the post.
Kalkbrenner with a smaller guy on him now. Good pass.
Shireman, got it.
That is, you know, Greg McDermott's a great coach. The first thing you do when you get the ball in low post is look opposite.
With a quick glance back to Coach McDermott. He'll hustle it on the drive. Good if it got off before.
My initial thinking is it was good, but it was close.
They'll take a look. If it is good, they used all of the time there.
Oh,
no,
maybe not.
So the officials going to look at it.
They called it good on the floor. Still got it. Still got it. No good.
Well,
and still on it, right?
That's close. Remember.
Oh, it's close.
You said called good on the floor.
I think they called it good on the floor. I mean, that's really close. I think his fingers are still on it. I don't know. No basket.
Yeah, they've waved it off. So no basket. Amy Pond, 7 minutes per game last season. Durable, top 10 in the nation in Division I in minutes played. Kalkbrenner working on Rubin. Second chance.
Oh.
finishing with the flush.
He made it tough on him for the first one.
That time for Rubin, who can't return the favor on Kalkbrenner. Shireman, outlet, Trout wants three. And the freshman from Grand Island, Nebraska, and averaging 6.5 per game. A couple of 8-point contests, last 2 outings for him.
No double now.
That all by his lonesome against the senior big.
Yeah, that's, you know, you get
hands there from Kalkbrenner. Diagonal outlet, Farabello rocketing home a triple.
You know, it's amazing with Creighton that was on the ground.
Farabello tracked by Dawson, 3 on the way. Alexander is going to make it harder. Hand in the face, buries it. 350th in the nation in turnover rate, 22%. So almost 1 out of every 5 times are giving it to the other team.
And they haven't really solved it completely. They're averaging 14 turnovers a game this year.
8 rebounds for him. Extra pass, Ashworth. He can do it when required from deep.
And you know what? Ryan Nemhard was a great player for Creighton, and he left, obviously, and Ashworth came in. In some ways, he's a better fit because he's a much better three-point shooter. They're averaging 13.5 threes a game.
That's King, active on the defensive end.
When you have a small margin of error, that's when you're not that good. When only 2 guys have to score every game, it's hard to be good. If you got a wide array of guys, it's a big difference.
Ashworth now, the ability to surge to the cup and suddenly not scoring a lot, now scoring in bunches. He's got encouraging Ashworth to get into the offense.
Well, they need to get a good one here. I'd throw it into the big guy. Even if he's not going to shoot it, it puts a lot of pressure on the other team when a big guy like that catches it down in the box.
Alexander.
Huh?
Tough make.
Tough. But that's what real good players do. It is a better league. Not the Missouri Valley was bad, but the Atlantic 10 is better. And so whenever you step up into a better league, there's another 3 by Kalkbrenner. Whenever you step up to a better league, it's always tough in the beginning.
Numbers not as good for Loyola. They were above 40% first half, 35% here in half 2.
Good pass.
Kalkbrenner. He's got finesse 3s and power 2s.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great pass on the base.
Rejected. Not up to his normal scoring numbers, but there defensively, Shireman flashing to the cup. In that consolation game, gets rolling 1:30 Eastern here on CBS Sports Network tomorrow. Kalkbrenner is just going to say, look, you're going to leave me open. I'm going to just practice my shot.
I mean, nobody wanted to guard him. And I agree. I think Greg McDermott got to get him out where he can make the 3. And the other thing about Kalkbrenner is he can come out and guard a pick and roll. And that's Zach Edey's problem in terms of he's so big to be able to move those feet and get outside in an NBA game and guard pick and rolls.
Underneath, bucket good. How about that for Jason Green? Again, been out with a broken hand. His first action of the season, actually his first official time on the floor as a Blue Jay after redshirting last year. Entering the final minute of play here in this second semi in KC. Lob inside for King. Green attacking, trying to win it back for King.
And 1.
And 1 is right. Guy that didn't play organized hoops till he was 14, and man, he is becoming a fixture inside.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be the defensive presence, but who is, of Kalkbrenner, but he's going to be pretty good.
King following up with a free throw.
Against Creighton, I can tell you that.
Doetzler carving his way through the defense for the bucket. I think
it's going to be a really entertaining game. They're a good three-point shooting team. Not like these guys.
This team has been elite in the early portion of the year after their Elite 8 run last year. Greg McDermott and the Blue Jays with designs on getting further in the big tournament. And here at the Hall of Fame Classic, they've gotten to this tournament final, dispatching Loyola Chicago here 88-65. Ryan Kalkbrenner, well, instead of posting in the paint, posting up outside, knocking down 4 threes, 29 points in all.
Yeah, he showed us a lot of different things tonight. No doubt about it. And that's going to just add to what makes this team a potential national championship team. The versatility that he now provides, shooting threes, posting up, defense. They're a definite threat.
And a Rambler team that had a strong first half, but had a run over by Creighton in the second half, will take on Boston College at 1:30 Eastern tomorrow. And then it's Coach McDermott and the Blue Jays against Colorado State. And the title tilt about 4 p.m. Eastern as well on Thanksgiving. Well, once again, our final score, Creighton getting it done 88-65 over Loyola Chicago. For Steve Lapis and our crew, this is Jason Knapp. Let's get you back down to the gang in New York.